on Money Life, proudly brought to you by Botswana Life, because your future deserves more than just small talk.
100%. Good morning, Botswana, and welcome to yet another episode of Money Life with Botswana Life, where we help you make smarter financial decisions for you and your family. Now, today we'd like to introduce a term that many people have never heard before, but one that affects thousands of people every day. It is called the protection gap. Yes, remember that word, protection gap. It may be thinking, I already have insurance. Surely that means I'm protected, right? But is your cover really enough? Could your family continue living comfortably at the standards that you've set for them if something was to happen to you tomorrow? Or they suddenly find themselves in harsh financial struggles and financial times? And here to help us unpack the important topic, protection gap, I'm joined by Botswana Life Financial Advisor, Thato Mohutsiwa. Good morning, ma'am. How are you?
I'm good, Ndu. It's actually Senyana Mutingwa.
What happened? Sinyana, good morning. You good?
Good morning. I'm good. How are you, Mdu?
I'm fantastic. Clement, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Mdu.
Thank you. You got right at the top. How protection gap? Exactly.
Mdu, protection gap is the difference between the financial protection that you have today and the protection that your family would actually need should the unexpected happens. In simple terms, we are basically saying you might have the life cover, you might have funeral cover, or even educare for ngwana gago kana for bana ba gago. But the question is, are this enough? And over and above that, maybe you have this covers tse leng gore o na le tsone ko tirong, mme yaanong also, or maybe you have this covers tse leng gore e re maybe o simolola tiro, you had them and now it's 10 years down the line. And the unfortunate part is that this covers mostly khadire, they don't grow with us. And the truth of the matter is that life changes, responsibilities grow, and cost they increase. And that is what we mean by protection gap.
Okay, so many people have covers and benefits through the employer. Doesn't that then cover the protection gap?
Employers' benefit actually is a fantastic starting point. And maybe we encourage people to have or to look at them or to appreciate that, because most employers, they provide group covers, group credit life, group credit illnesses, group funerals, or just a group credit life, like I'm saying. The question also goes back to, are this enough? And also, we tell one would say, I do have a life cover with my employer. And how does that actually help or cover themselves? And that is why we encourage individuals, you need to now look at that holistically. And how do you label holistically? We tell sometimes you resign, sometimes you change jobs, and ultimately you retire. Those covers, they mostly belong to the employer, and they do end. And that is why we encourage individuals to have them along with their personal ones.
Okay. Now tell me, Sinyana, talking about the protection gap, what are some of those signs that we should look out for when we need to review our cover?
There are many that I can give examples of. Starting your life changes over time, and for instance, maybe onyetse, or maybe you have started having a family, or maybe you just got a promotion at work, or maybe your finances or your financial protection back. That is why if in that case those signs, then you need to have protection. It needs to change. And then as life changes, your protection law needs to
If you're joining us right now, we're talking about the protection gap. It's a term that most people are unfamiliar with, but we're here to dissect it. What are the protection gap exactly? And joining us from Botswana Life is financial advisor Mesenyana. Mesenyana, now we've also seen funeral costs increase significantly over the years. Does inflation contribute to the protection gap?
Yes, most definitely. Inflation quietly reduces the value of your cover over time. And gantsi the funerals, cost 15,000 maybe 5 years ago. It doesn't cost that anymore because of life changes, obviously. And also, it's the same applying to dikolo. We don't pay the same amount that we were paying back then. And also hella life in general. Things have changed. And so in that case, that is why at Botswana Life, we continue to innovate and to give solutions that helps customers to keep pace with their changing realities. And for example, because we have a policy called Mohutsiwa funeral cover, it has an upsize cover. It helps you to get the cover with life without you having to actually like I was saying previously. So it helps you to have an adequate cover. Or similarly with the life cover review, we ensure protection is in place the years that you were taking it, so that it helps you to reflect today's realities.
Senyana, you mentioned Hore, things change, inflation changes, prices of things changes, situations change. You're starting a family, you've got a promotion at your workplace, and you encourage that in order to beat the protection gap or to consider it, we need to often as possible review our policies.
Yeah.
Now, how often do you recommend that people review that protection?
I would recommend that at least once a year. And definitely after major life changes in your life, financial planning ya gago. And reviewing, I want to stress this one. Reviewing your policy doesn't always means getting a new cover. You are actually getting the cover. Into your covers. And sometimes that means adding protection that you didn't previously need, and also adding something, or sometimes that confirms that you're already adequately protected. So it's very important that you know than assuming.
Rather know than assume your status. Rather know than assume your protection gap so you can close it as much as possible in the case that if anything was to happen to you, make sure your family will be adequately catered for. Now, before I let you go, Senyana, what's your last message to the person listening this morning?
My last message is that don't assume you're fully protected simply because you have an insurance policy. Alternatively, put the following questions. If should something happens to me today, would my family still be protected? Will my mortgage still be paid? Will my kids still go to the same schools? And would rather my family still have the life that I've built for? How can those questions, then you need to review your financial protection. And hela gantsi we tell the funeral cover that you've selected for you or for your loved ones, is it enough to cover all the costs that comes with and then you need to go back to the drawing board and assess or review your portfolio. And over and above that, at Botswana Life, our financial advisors are also there to help you assess or your protection needs and identify any gaps so that you make informed decision and protect what matters most.
Senyana, we learned something new today. Thank you.
Thank you, Mdu.
Thank you. Re leboga go menagane tota that o rutile about ensuring we are adequately covered. Now, that closes our discussion this morning. Don't forget to follow Botswana Life across all social media. That's their Facebook, that's their Instagram, and their LinkedIn for more consumer education content. And visit our YouTube channel as well, Botswana Life, to catch this episode and the ones that came on previously, more Money Life discussions. Now, finally, with Botswana's AI-powered WhatsApp line, okay, from wherever you are, all you have to do is simply send hi to 75257556. That is 75257556 to view your policy, download documents, request a callback, and access a range of self-service options courtesy of Botswana Life. Now, until next time, Salam Sentle. Good morning.